Okay.
Who's this?
This is Wren. Wren ate a string. And yesterday she came in because she was vomiting, not feeling very well, and it turns out the string was looped around her tongue, and it was causing a lot of tension that was actually bunching all of her intestines up. So she came in at 4:30 yesterday, and she was fairly stable, so we didn't do surgery yesterday, but we did cut the string so it wasn't putting tension on her tongue anymore, but that means it's still in there. She's a lot brighter today. She's sedated now, so... a lot brighter today, probably because her intestines aren't getting all pulled and bunched up. But now we're going to do an ultrasound to see if it's still causing bunching and if she needs to go to surgery. Yes. She's very cute. She's a very affectionate cat.
She's looking at this thing here.
Her weird doily, yes.
Yeah. I need to come in with doilies.
So Alastair's going to do an ultrasound on her this morning, and we'll see where we go from there. Yeah. Alastair! Aaron was making fun of my shape job earlier today, and I was like, this is the exact shape that Alastair likes.
We like that because we can do the chest and thorax, and a lot of the abdominal functions is right in there, so that's why you do it. That's why you do it. Do you all remember that all the bunching we had yesterday?
Yeah, it looks a lot better.
Still inflamed. See how it's
Still a
all
little bit.
inflamed around there?
Yeah.
That's the duodenum compared to yesterday.
Looks a little better.
It's not plicated anymore. Wow.
A little bit.
So now we release the anchor point. And as it gets, because it doesn't have anything stuck on the end of that thread to form a secondary anchor, it might just slide on through. You know what I'm saying? Which is valid. I don't know. And if you go and do surgery, you're not going to see the bunched up intestines anymore. So
where do you know
where
where
you have to cut little holes everywhere looking for it. So it's in many ways waiting to see is worth it in this case. Do we do surgery or do we not? I'm inclined to let it wait. Right there is where it's pretty angry. But you can see it running through the string, but it's not. It's causing tiny bits of plication, but I think it's tying it up here a little bit. But is it going to pass? You can still see the string here in cross section. It's a long piece. It's kind of coming here again. New section coming through here. Jesus. Here it is again. That's the string there in the corner. Down to all this stuff. It's all through. It's lost down in here somewhere. Well, I say we don't do the surgery. I think it's going to make its way through.
Okay. You want to run maybe fluids for the day?
Yeah, that might be the idea, but I'll talk to them.
The kennel for cheek was open, and that was.
At least the critical part is over now. At least, yeah. Well, you're throwing up because your intestines are squished together by a piece of thread. And the trouble is with that is the thread is very thin, so it very quickly saws through the intestine. So once you saw through your intestine, you think a $3,000 surgery is expensive. You haven't even begun. It's going to be like a $6,000 or $7,000 surgery once it goes through the intestine. So the risk is that's what might happen. But at the moment, the pressure of that happening is off because the anchor has been released. Whether it's going to get stuck someplace else and do it again remains to be seen. So what I would suggest we do, in the interests of lots of things that might not be necessary to do surgery, it's expensive. In the interests of that, it might be worthwhile taking her home, feeding her as usual, and letting her go about her day, hopefully not getting into any more string or thread, and then watch what happens over the next few days. If she once again returns to not eating and vomiting, well then we know we have to go in. Right? Yeah. and she'll give you some time. All of a sudden, she'll start looking uncomfortable again and be kind of a little hunched over and not wanting to eat anything, and then maybe vomiting. If that recurs again in the next few days, it means the thread has got stuck someplace else, and we'll have to go in and get it. Yeah. Well, I mean, any cat food, I mean, hard or soft, by the time it enters the intestine, it's going to be soft, right? So everyone always thinks wet food is better than it doesn't matter. You can feed her whatever she normally eats. Just make sure. I'm sure if you offered her food this morning, she probably would have eaten it. Right. Yeah. So I would. So it's a bit of a gamble, but it's a mitigating gamble, and you have some time. So if she once again changes demeanor, becomes lethargic, not happy, not eating, then you know that the string got stuck someplace else. Yeah. So I don't know if she's got lots of inflammation in her intestines, though. I mean, you can say it's caused some trauma over the last 24 hours. So it might be worthwhile having her on fluids today and some more anti-nausea medication, and maybe give her a dose of antibiotics just in case. And so that we can still keep it, but we won't do surgery today, and we'll see how and then you still pick her up at the end of the day, and take her home and then see how she does over the next few days. Yeah, yeah. I mean, if we'd done the ultrasound and her intestines were all bunched up around her and she was still uncomfortable, then there would be no option. There'd be surgery or she wasn't going to make it. There's no choice there. But I'd hoped yesterday when we released the anchor under the tongue that it might have caused improvement in her signs, and it definitely has. But the debate is, it's a long piece of thread, and it's possible to get stuck someplace else, but you never know. But right now, she seems to be moving it along reasonably well. Maybe. But what's going to happen is it's going to come out in her poop, right? And you're going to be tempted to pull the ripcord. Don't. And you might, if it's really long and it's really bugging you, you can cut it, but don't yank it, because you can actually pull the colon out the back end by mistake. That people have done that. It's never good. So just resist the urge and cut it when you see it coming out. So we'll keep her today with some fluids, some pain control, and give her some, maybe offer a little food as the day progresses. And then you can pick her up this evening at about between 5 and 5:30, and we'll send her home, and then you just need to watch her carefully for the next few days. And that should be it. Okay? Yeah, but she's definitely a much more comfortable cat today. You can she's much brighter, she's purring, she wants attention. It's a different, she's also much more comfortable. So okay, so we'll see you tonight. Thank you. Okay. Bye.
It was not my fault.
Unbelievable.
She undid her line, and so I was trying to do it up, but then she ended up on my shoulder. And now she won't go back in. I can't. You will see. Oh.